It's a warm day here in Calgary, and I want to share a very simple yet very effective way to learn another grammar point. This is a teaching methodology that we have been using a lot recently at the Calgary Language Nerds, and is working quite well. So step one is to do a bunch of mass translation exercises. So what is a mass translation exercise? Well, it means you take a whole bunch of sentences and you translate them into the language that you're trying to learn. You want to make sure all these different sentences incorporate a grammar point that you're trying to learn. For example, we've been teaching some classes recently with the past tense. So trying to talk about what you did last weekend or what you did last week, what you did on holidays, things of that nature. So those are all past tense examples. We'll take like 50 sentences, all in the past tense, in English. And then we'll practice translating them into the language that the language that the student is trying to learn. So that's step one, just to get them familiar with the idea of how do things work in this particular tense. How do you talk about things in the past tense, as an example? Once you've done that, then you transition into a bunch of conversation practice with that particular tense. That process alone seems to be working very, very well. It's a tried and true process. Lots of tutors do this. It's not really new. I haven't invented something brand new, but it does work very well. Now, here's a couple of extra details. If you really want to take this to the next level, there are a few additional details you should be aware of. Additional detail number one, it's helpful to organize the list of sentences that you're translating by subject pronoun. So it's getting a bit technical here, so bear with me. Subject pronouns are, I'll tell you what they are in English: I, you, he, she, we, they, and it. There we go. So they're words that replace people's names, basically. So you organize them into separate categories. That way it can be easier to work through. The other thing you can do as well to make it slightly, if you really want to kind of make the most of this kind of practice activity, it will be helpful to only work with simple sentences. Like, you don't want to complicate things. Keep it hyper simple. Don't make the sentences very, very complicated. Okay? The third and final thing I'll say in this video today, to really maximize the effectiveness of this particular activity, is initially it might be easier to translate from the language you're learning into English. So don't translate initially from English into the language you're learning. Start with sentences in the language you're learning and bring them into English. That might be an easier first step for a lot of people. So again, to summarize things up here, mass translation exercises can be very helpful in a specific grammar point if you're trying to work on that. Then pair that up with lots and lots of conversation practice related to that grammar point that you're practicing. Again, tried and true. This is not me inventing it. Lots of tutors already do this. I just wanted to highlight it and share that, hey, so far in the Calgary Language Nerds, that seems to be working really, really well with a decent number of students. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys found this helpful, and see you guys in the next video.